So you want to get Hydroid who does this, and is also the space pirate of Warframe basically. I'm Tipsy, and today we'll be going over how to get Hydroid in Warframe. So there's only going to be one requirement to actually getting or obtaining Hydroid, the different parts for him, and that is actually being MR5. So if you haven't hit MR5 yet, you can't do the mission where you actually get Hydroid parts. You can still buy him off the market for raw plat, but otherwise to actually farm him, you have to be MR5. So the first thing you have to do to get Hydroid is basically get his blueprint, which you can get off the marketplace in your orbiter. So head to the marketplace and search Hydroid. You should be able to find Hydroid in the marketplace right here, and you just go in here and you will buy the blueprint for 50k credits. Once you have gotten his blueprint, you're now able to do the mission where you'll be able to get Hydroid in, which is gonna be on Earth called Oro. So Oro assassination mission where you will be targeting Vay Hek, the terraframe, is basically the mission that will drop the different parts for Hydroid. You will get his cases, his system, and his neuropics in here. So just go ahead and start up the mission Oro on Earth. Once you get into the mission, you'll just run for the objective. To do this mission the fastest you can, you just have to skip Vay Hek when you actually encounter him on the way to the boss room. He will appear 3 times on the way to the boss room, so you just run past him and try and find the boss room fast, which will basically skip phase 1 of him. Because phase 1 for Vay Hek is basically spawning in 3 times on the way to the boss arena, where you normally have to attack him until he flees to the next area, but you can do this mission a little bit faster if you just skip this and run straight for the boss arena. So just go for the objective, run to the boss arena, and you will be entering phase 2 after that. Phase 2 will start once you get to the boss arena, where you'll have to fight Vay Hek. Vay Hek will be invincible at the start of the fight until he uses his propaganda broadcast, which will actually expose his head, and also his backpack weak spots, where you'll have to just attack those until his health is fully depleted. This will finish phase 2 when you have depleted all his health in the first phase. When you have depleted Vay Hek's health all the way down, Vay Hek will summon his terraframe and board it. Unlike in phase 2 where you'll have to hit his head when it's exposed, this time around you can just hit him as much as you want to. Basically you will just have to kill him here. So go ahead and nuke him down until his terraframe is dead, and Vay Hek will then flee the scene, and you should be able to extract after that. Once you have defeated Vay Hek, just head out for extraction, as this will reward you with one of Hydroid's main blueprint parts. You will either get his neuropics, his cases, or his systems. His neuropics and his cases is gonna be a 38.72% drop chance, where the Hydroid system is actually gonna be a 22.56% drop rate. So keep in mind that this can take a little bit of time if you get unlucky and get the same part over and over again, as the system actually is a little bit more rare than the other 2 pieces. If you're lucky, you might be able to get this in 3 runs, and then you don't have to worry about this again. Otherwise, just keep running it until you have all his parts, and it should be very simple and easy to do. Other than that, Vay Hek actually has some other stuff in his drop table. Basically, you will be able to get a few different mods, as you see here, on top of a little bit of endo with each of their own drop chances. On top of that, you'll get a resource drop, which is going to be Earth's resources, but you also have a small chance of actually getting Orokin cell at 2.58% chance. So that is basically the loot table or rewards for actually killing Vay Hek and his mission in here. And yeah, you'll just run this mission until you have one of each part of the Hydroid blueprint. After you have gotten his different parts of the blueprint, you want to head over to your foundry right here, go in, just search for Hydroid, and you should be able to find all your Hydroid pieces. You then just have to click craft on the different parts, and you'll then be able to craft your Hydroid. If you need Argon crystals, you'll just have to go and farm those in Void. I recommend just doing the Habit mission and go around looking for all of the different lockers and crates and just opening those, and you should be able to get Argon crystal here and there. But keep in mind, the Argon crystal actually decays every day, so just don't farm too many, just farm the amount you need and use them. Otherwise, they might just sit in your inventory and disappear after that. So go ahead and craft your different pieces. This will take 12 hours. When you have crafted it, you'll then craft the full blueprint part, and then you should have a Hydroid ready and to use. If there's any of the resources you see here you feel like you're struggling with or anything like that, feel free to check out some of my other videos, as I should probably have a video on how to actually farm this early on in the game. One quick little thing before we head into the build section is we actually do have a Discord, so feel free to join the Discord, as you see right here. There will be a link down in the description, and we have a fun little community, so feel free to join that if anything. Otherwise, we will head over to the build now. So for the build we actually used in this Vay Hek mission was fairly simple. So it's basically the main build we have used for the other guides too. We are only focusing on redirection and vitality to get a little bit more health and shield to basically survive. You can put in anything else here you want, but I recommend early on especially to run redirection and vitality. Otherwise, if you're struggling with survivability, I would recommend you to check the Rhino guide we have down in the description out to get a Rhino, which will definitely carry you through the whole star chart, as Rhino is a very strong frame, so I recommend taking him with you. This is the basic frame setup. You can use any frame you want to. If you feel like you're a little bit squishy, get the Rhino. So for the weapon, we're using the Hek, which you can get from the marketplace at MR5. I highly recommend the Hek, as it is the weapon I use throughout my whole star chart, basically to clear it, and it is a great weapon. Like, it's a shotgun, and it definitely hits for what it is. So I definitely recommend getting this one. For the mods we're running with on the Hek, we're using Hell's Chamber to get some multi-shot. This will drop from different missions, just any missions in the star chart basically. On top of that, we're running with a point blank to get some more base damage. This is also a normal mod that can drop from basically any mission. With that, we are combining Charged Shell and Contagious Spread, which is basically electricity and toxin. Those together will give us corrosive, which is basically what the boss fight is actually weak to. So that is why we're running both the electricity and the toxin on top of each other. So we are getting the element the boss is weak to do a little bit more damage here. And then lastly, we are running Vigilant Augment, which is again another multi-shot modifier, and this is a mod you can get from Seeds' bounties on Earth, which is basically run these bounties and you might be able to get it in the reward table. I highly recommend getting this one on top too, as it is just some extra multi-shot and it is a nice little mod. So these are fairly simple mods that we're running. One thing to keep in mind though is we do have 60 capacity because we have maxed out on mods, and to do that you go to actions and you will actually have to use an Orokin catalyst right here. Alright, that's it for the video. If you found it helpful, feel free to leave a like. Also, I would love to hear how many tries it actually took you to get your Hydroid, so just put that down in the comments. That would be lovely to hear. Otherwise, if you have any questions or so on, just leave a comment on it, or maybe join the Discord and throw a comment in there. And then there's nothing else, so yeah, see you in the next video. Peace.